Yes, y'all. What's going on? My name is MC Till. Welcome to the Boom Bap Chat. We have a fantastic guest that I'm gonna introduce in just a moment. You might, if you're watching the live feed, you might notice that we are without Profound, who's usually here. And if you've been following the show, you know that Profound's son is an amazing football player, and Pro got called up to go to a practice tonight with his son. So he's doing that. So much love to Profound. And iomos, as you know, is in the academic world, and he's teaching a class tomorrow morning very early. So we always support advancing and imparting wisdom to the young people. So salute to Profound and iomos. Uh, and peace to them. So they'll be back soon, though. And also want to say, if you don't have our book yet, you got to get it. It's the Boom Bap Review right here. Boom Bap Review, Volume 5. Our guest tonight is actually in this book. His new album's in here. Make sure you get that. You can go to boombapreview.com, or you can go to Amazon, get it off of there. It's very easy. Just search Boom Bap Review and check it out there. So without further ado, let me introduce our amazing guest tonight. We have a titan of an artist tonight. He has a voice that demands our attention. His lyrics challenge, inspire, and engage. His production is some of the finest around. It's like gritty. It's a little boom bap. It's a bunch of soul, little dust and mystery. It's a really cool sound that he has. It's just dope. His most recent album, Permanently Blackface, The First Expression, is one of the best albums of 2023. And it's going to have replay value for years and years to come. Mark my words. And I'd like to introduce to some and reintroduce to others as I welcome our guest to the Boom Bap Chat. Lukah, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, bro. Happy to be here, man. That was a hell of an introduction too. Thank
Oh,
you for that. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But yeah, man, peace to y'all for having me on, man. And salute the homie with the son as a football player, and salute the homie that's teaching academics, man. You know what I'm saying? Both great jobs, fatherhood and being a professor.
Yeah. Yeah,
So yeah,
AF,
salute to
for
them.
sure. For sure. And
Yeah.
we'll definitely have to have you back on, man, because I know they would really love you and really appreciate, what you bring with your
Mhm.
music. So yeah, so we'll definitely have to plan on that for sure. So coming from Memphis, man, I'm curious to know who were some of like your first artists that you were like that inspired you to like pick up the pen and get into music and do it.
That's it's a depth question and a depth answer, a deep one, because Crucial Conflict, hey, was the song that made me want to actually pick up the pen. But I've heard, and I was listening to other music prior, of course, 3 6 Mafia,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Play or Fly was big on my radar because that's the neighborhood I'm from South Memphis. So Player Five was big. A Ball and MJG, of course, T Love, things of that nature. But it was almost like listening to that, it was like that was the soundtrack of living in Memphis. So it kind of wasn't like, oh, you should do what Project Pat is doing in rapping, because it was almost like you saw all of the stuff that they were rapping about, and it was, you were living that culture of
Yeah.
Memphis hip hop every day. You know what I'm saying? Yo Gotti, things of that nature, people like that. And it wasn't until I think I was in third or fourth grade, um, we were at a sock hop and and they played "Hey" in the middle of the barn, and the beat just came on with that bass line, doom
Yeah.
doom 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 doom, and like for some reason they were playing the real version then. Like it wasn't a clean version in fourth grade. So
It fell through.
yeah,
Fell through the cracks.
that beat started playing G, and the sock hop went crazy.
Mm,
And they came in with all these different styles. One of the guys had a high pitched voice. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like it, it kind of, I was like, hold on, bro. And then I saw how the crowd was reacting to it. Mind you, I've seen us react to 3 6 Mafia, but that's how we supposed to react.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It kind of goes with that. They're rapping about what we're doing
Yeah.
in a sense. You know what I'm saying? But when Crucial Conflict, hey, when that dropped that night, well, that day at the sock hop, I was just like, yeah, I might got to pick up a pen if this is what this is making people do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, of course, I didn't pick up the pen. I was just freestyling, and
Yeah.
I said
Yeah.
the N word a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because I was trying to rap fast like them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so it just come out with the N word a lot. My mom and them used to laugh at me. I started taking when I actually picked up the pen for real. Is when my auntie sat me down. She was like, "All right, look, you're gonna have to take this serious. This is one of those take this rap stuff serious." And I
Yep.
wrote my first rhyme with her.
With your aunt.
Um, yeah, my
That,
aunt, she had a
that's
little verse on it and everything. I was going by the
that's
name Blaze.
Blaze. Yeah. Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah, so yeah, that was the song. That was the song in the moment that I was like, yeah, I want to rap. I want to be a rapper. But I didn't pick up my first pen and actually write my first song until my aunt. She was just like, "Yo, if you're gonna do this, then let's do it." We made the beat and everything that same day.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's that's dope. So like, when I hear the term Memphis hip hop, there's immediate sound that comes to my brain, just from, hearing a lot of, stuff from Memphis. Would you describe Memphis as having like a sound, like the Memphis hip hop sound?
yeah, we have the sound that mainstream, the commercial, yeah, that they
Yeah.
know us for. Yeah,
Like,
and even the underground sound. Yeah, most definitely we have a sound. The game is our sound right now.
mm,
If you want to be honest about it, at least the our sound is the foundation of how it sounds now.
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, DJ Paul and Juicy J, and even the cats before that, Squeaky and Zert, all those cats, man, like they play a big part in how it sounds today.
Yeah.
And I'm not just being biased. Like you can listen to it. Everybody's resampling their stuff. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And sampling their stuff. So it's just like, I mean, the proof is there. So,
Yeah.
but
So
yeah, I think we have a sound.
yeah, I would say so. I was just curious to know what being from Memphis, growing up in it, if you you felt like Memphis had that same sound. So your sound is much different than that kind of Memphis, the stereotypical Memphis sound. Was that inspired by Hay, or was that inspired by your aunt, or like how did you, well, it always intrigues me how, like, someone growing up hearing that sound, but yet your sound is very, very different from it.
I'm so I went through multiple phases.
Mm,
So I went through once I started writing, I went through my Memphis sound, the what we know.
yeah.
Um, I went through that. My mom introduced me to Slick Rick, so that kind of like, okay, hold on, this is a little different.
Yeah.
I didn't know we could kick it like this, so I started exploring the storytelling world. So automatically, when I started exploring that lyrically, my beats started to change to
Mm,
go along with the storytelling. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because I would make songs about a woman having a stammering problem. And she was in love with this guy. This is a real song. She was in love with this guy, and to get his attention, she would scat because she had a stammering problem. So
Mm,
I told, yeah, I told stories like that. So it would sound kind of crazy me rapping that beautiful story over a Juicy J kind of beat. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
There's no
Yeah.
disrespect. Yeah, it's just like how would that coexist? How would that exist together? So it's just so my beats started shifting because of Slick Rick, and I was exploring the storytelling world, and then I went through the when Soldier Boy got hot. You know what I'm saying? I went through that phase.
Yep.
I
Yep.
was like, okay, what are we doing now? What is hip hop like?
Yeah.
So, all right, fast forward. My mom's, I was, you know what I mean, regular stories of a black man in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
She felt that, like, in order for me to make it out of this, I had to really see what was out there. So, my mom's would send me to Chicago for like the summer with my uncle. My uncle HB was one of my teachers.
Mm.
He's the reason why him and I'm gonna circle back around to my uncle Fathom Nine, who's here in Memphis. But let me know if I'm taking too
You good,
long
man.
too.
No,
All
I
right,
love hearing
cool,
about
cool.
I love hearing about like how
All right,
family influences you. I think that's
yeah.
dope. Yeah.
So my uncle, he's a one of my favorite rappers, Ill MC out of Chicago. So automatically, when you think of Chicago, you're thinking about Common and
Mm-hmm.
Lukah, No ID, you know what I mean? All the cats from the shot, you know what I'm saying? Twister, Crucial Conflict, all of it. Anyway, so one day I spit rhymes to him and he straight up told me it was bubblegum. He told me it was corny. He told me it was whack. And as a young kid, that hurt your feelings a little bit.
Yeah.
So he came back and was like, all right, man, look, if you're going to do this, you got to know where it's been, where it's
Mm.
at, where it's going.
Yeah.
He introduced me immediately to my favorite rapper right now. He's my number one, Nas.
Mm.
Um, he played the first joint was Live at the Barbecue. He started me there. So he was like, all right, Large Professor, MC Search, all those cats. I'm learning about all of that just because of Nas. And those cats are before Nas.
Right.
I'm not knowing that he's about to split this shit
Yep.
afterwards, starting with Nas. You know what I'm saying? Because that's his favorite rapper.
Mm-hmm.
So started with Nas, that fucked my mind up. Then he played Illmatic after that. Fucked my mind up. And I was just like, okay, hold on, bro. Like, yeah, it was, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't getting this down back home. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
This is just like mind boggling right now. So he was like, all right, cool. Since you like that, then he took me back to Rakim. He started showing me the tree from where Nas came, and then he started breaking. He was like, yeah, this is Rakim seed. This is Fuji Rap seed. I'm
Mm-hmm.
hearing all these stories, and then he'll break off into KRS-One and African. It was a whole lesson sitting there for hours at the kitchen table. And so he would play. He took me all the way back, and then he brought me to where we were now. I mean, at that time, and he was like, "All right, take all of this and do whatever you want with it, basically." So I went home and I automatically just tried to do something different because I was like, man, this is eye opening, bro. Like
Mm.
my brain just I was immediately attached to the sound of it. You know what I'm saying? It was something different. It was something new. Who doesn't like something different and something new?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I remember this is around the time my homie Sonny Katz. I feature him on a lot of my stuff. He actually did the Permanently Blackface album cover. He drew that.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. He brought Fruity Loops around this time, and
Yeah.
so yeah, so we were learning to produce, and I just was like studying like Nas's production on Illmatic and learning that Q-Tip was one of the producers, Large Professor, Primo. This is
Yeah.
all the stuff I'm starting to learn by myself
Yep. Yep.
without him like showing me. So it was just like, okay, I went through my phase of sounding like them. You know what I'm saying? If all of the phases that I went through was to get me to where I am right now. I like to call myself I'm a rap mutt. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a little bit of West in me. I got a little bit of East and a lot of South in me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I am a student of this shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So then I had an uncle back home named Fathom Nine. This is where the other side of Memphis sound comes from. There's an underground scene that nobody knows about here in
Mm.
Memphis that actually sounds like boom bap and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That's here. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They tried to make it out. A lot of unfortunate situations. Long story short, they would say, "Yo, this is hard," but we looking for that no limit type of shit right
Right.
now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they were
Sure.
going through that type of shit, kind of like the shit that I have gone through doing what I do,
Yeah.
saying that they're looking for the next money bag yo or something like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or something like that. Anyway, so my uncle Fathom Nine, he was a part of that scene that I'm talking about. And he was a part of a group called Genesis Experiment. And it was him from Memphis, and it was an MC from Chicago, and
Mm.
it was an MC from New York. So they had a group called Genesis Experiment here, and they made like like they used to compare my uncle to oh my god, wow, Pharaoh Monch, one of my
Oh,
favorite rappers.
I love Harold
Yeah,
Munch.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
he used to get compared to him a lot in Buster stuff like that. So
Yeah.
um, he was another cat that kind of like steered me the way I am right now because when I would kick raps to him as well, he was like, "Yeah, that shit's whack." You know what I'm saying? And they would say that shit. It just make you that shit help me develop. You
Yeah,
know
I
what I'm saying?
bet.
Telling me that shit's whack. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? My mom's handed me Shakespeare books, telling me like, yo, if you want to be poetic and you want to do something different and you want to learn some new words, here, just take these books. And like me reading Romeo and Juliet and thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like crazy stuff like that. Like my mom's is a singer. So she writes and she sings. My grandmother was a singer. My father was a DJ.
Mm.
So
So
it's kind of in me.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, bro. I mean, that story's all over the place. It's really longer than that. I just wanted to give a shorter version and introduce you to the pieces
Yeah.
that got me to this sound. You know what I'm saying? So it's
That
my uncles and my mom, my auntie. I grew up in the house, where like one of my aunties, she was really into rock and country and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Also the
wow.
'90s R&B and all of that shit. My other auntie who wrote the rap with me, you know what I'm saying? That's how I found out about Mystical and
Mm.
and and, and Busta and Bone Thugs and shit like that. Meanwhile, my mom's she's singing soul. Aretha Franklin, that's my favorite singer. Aretha Franklin, she introducing me to Ella Fitzgerald, jazz, shit like that.
Mm.
So all this shit is going on in my house. So it was kind of impossible for me to sound away where a person could box me in. So,
Yo, that's dope.
yeah,
That's super dope. And we'll get into the album, but I just want to pause and make a little plug to people that are tuning in. If they have not heard your album, Permanently Blackface, The First Expression, just think about what you just heard. You got country music running through. You got Shakespeare being handed to Lukah. You got soul music, jazz. You got the influence from Memphis, from Chicago,
yeah,
from New York City. And I'm telling you, man, if you listen to this album, Permanently Blackface, you can kind of feel like it's just a different sound. So if you think of all those things pouring into Lukah, like that kind of comes out, in that album, and it's just like very unique album. So I want to make a plug for that album. If that sounds interesting to you, go listen to that album because it's really really dope. So we'll get into
sure,
that more later. But yeah, that's really fascinating that you have all these experiences through family and vast music and regional, influences. What's
yeah.
your artist? I missed the name. Your uncle in Chicago, that's the MC. What's his name?
His name is HB Soul. HB
HB
Soul,
So.
HB Soul, the Policy King. I'll send you some of his stuff.
Okay. Because iomos, Marad, and Profound, who are usually here, they're from Chicago originally. So
Oh
they
shit.
they
Okay.
might I
Hell
bet
yeah.
they've heard of HB So I wouldn't be surprised.
Hey, make sure you put he used to be part of this clique, the Chicago group called Illis Soul.
Illiso?
I Illis Soul, like ILLISOUL. Illis Soul, like Illis
Oh,
Soul.
yeah, I got
Yeah.
you. Yeah, like the,
So
like the state. Yeah. That's
yeah.
cool. That's
So
dope.
yeah. So yeah, and Phil G was part of that joint. Anyway, they probably know those
They might.
guys.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
assume. So it makes sense. I read this article recently about you and I think it was from a few years ago, but you talked about being the bridge between mainstream and underground, and kind of makes sense as I'm listening to you, all these different experiences. It's like I feel like you have, great affinity for like the Memphis sound and for the boom bap sound and for, all these different things. So it makes sense that you would be a bridge, between those two.
Yeah, man. I it like I said, like man, listen, Mr. Don't Play by Project Pat, Getty Green, Land of Smackdown, plethora, the game. Those lists I sent
Yep.
you.
Yeah.
Uh, those albums, man. I am Memphis, so
Yeah.
it's just like Memphis is known for being mainstream. I don't think it's that, but that's what it is right now. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? But when you are Memphis, you're automatically like in some sort of way bridging a gap because of where you come from. I don't know if that makes sense
Yeah.
what I just said to you, but it's almost like being from Memphis. You kind of have a job to bridge a gap because of how hard it is to come from here, what we had to do, being overlooked, trying to
Yeah.
do something different that sounds like us, and add, you know what I'm saying? Some of the cats they used to DJ were from New York and came down here and you know what I'm saying, and was witnessing the cats slow down and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's that's a gap. That's a pipeline right there. The New York cats coming to DJ. They seeing the Memphis DJs slow down records and stuff like that. Oh, they want to be a part of that, and they bring in their type of stuff, and then they start experiencing. Yeah, I mean, it's you got to kind of bridge the gap, and like I'm trying to create that Memphis, New York pipeline right now with all the people I'm working with up in New York. Like
Dope.
just because I think it's important to include the birthplace. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like I think it's important to go up there to the birthplace and show you your skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it, it means something. So
Yeah.
I gotta be the bridge. And me being Memphis automatically makes just you saying I'm from Memphis is a weight itself. It holds weight
Mhm.
itself. And you know what I'm saying? So that's automatically commercial mainstream. You hear that, you automatically think, oh, I know how he sounds.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And
D-
then you turn it on, you like, hold on, this shit taking me a little
Yeah.
different direction real quick. What are you on real quick? But it's still Memphis though.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
So
and that's one thing I appreciate about your music is because, there are people that are not going to listen, to, the more traditional Memphis sound, the 3 6 Mafias and all that. But that like I said before, everyone has a voice, and I think it's important to listen to voices. And so cats that'll still listen to like the boom bap stuff, they'll listen to your stuff, but they'll still get that, Memphis experience, through your music. So they're still getting it just, through a different platform, which they wouldn't have got
exactly.
before. Do you ever get people to say things like, "Oh, I don't like Memphis hip hop, but I like you"? You ever get that?
I don't know if it's been said like that, but I mean, yeah, yeah, and didn't it wasn't said like that, but yeah, I've gotten that before.
Yeah, because I hear
And
people not. Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, not particular to Memphis, but I've heard people say that about different rappers in the South. Like, oh, I don't really mess with Southern rappers, but I like, Little Brother, or I like this group. And it's like, why can't you just say I like Little Brother, you know, or I
Yeah,
like
I
this.
mean, man, Siege is on. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
Like,
true.
I mean, let's see. I love the Steelers, but I do not like Kenny Pickett. You know
Oh,
what I'm
you
saying?
don't
Our
like what?
quarterback.
What'd you
I
say?
don't like. I said I don't like Kenny Pickett as our
Oh,
quarterback, but I love the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know what I mean? I mean, I really don't care at the
yeah,
end of the day. You know what I mean?
yeah, sure,
And secretly they bumping that shit anyway because you can't escape it.
right,
The
yeah,
South, the South is winning. So like, You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah, you at some club, you in some car, you watching some movie
Yep.
where the South shit is being played in your face and you're nodding your head. So you're secretly
Right.
fucking bumping shit
Right. 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 Yeah,
anyway.
for sure. For sure.
So,
No doubt. All right. So before we get into this album, and celebrate this album that you made recently, I do want to ask you a few non-music related questions and then some fun questions. I also read in an interview that you coached basketball and tutored students for a little while.
God damn, what interview was this?
It was in it. I just Googled it. It was in I think it was a Memphis like entertainment music
Yeah,
magazine of some sort.
yeah, that's true, man. I was so it was three things for me, man. Growing up, you know what I'm saying. I was like, I'm not gonna hustle forever.
Yeah.
Um, so it was like, all right, I know I want to do music. What do I enjoy doing other than music? Oh, let's get back to the community. Or I could do something dealing with technology. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? I love that shit. I went to college, a community college for a year and a half for computer engineering.
okay.
So did that, had to come out of that because I wouldn't get no money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I was like, all right, community and give money. So I started tutoring at my old elementary school. I got a job there doing it. That was real easy because all my old teachers and principals and stuff were there. So, you know what I'm saying? And
Dope.
they knew me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was cool. Um, I went to another job. It was this spot called Knowledge Quest in South Memphis. It was dope because it was still in the neighborhood, and it was owned by this church. And it was like an after school program where I would have the um, 4 through 6, I think, at the time. I had like a classroom of 15 to 20, and I'm in there helping them with their homework, having fun with them, joking, kidding around. And then I ended up in the actual school. My elementary was the actual school system, but I really ended up in the school system when I got to Hanley. Um, Hanley became a school owned by LA, which is fucking crazy. They LA representatives in schools came down and made it a charter school, but kept it Hanley.
Okay.
So yeah, they brought LA to Memphis, and that was a whole thing that I used to tell them, like, yo, you can't treat these kids here how you treat those kids there.
Yeah.
It's two different cultures,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but anyway, that's another story. I was there for like 4 or 5 years. I was coaching basketball and campus monitor, and I was tutoring, teaching reading and math after school.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
dope. What grade coaching? Like what grade were the kids?
I had the middle school boys, so it was 6 through 8.
Okay. That's a
Yeah.
yeah. I wonder what that's like cuz I my son is in 3rd grade and the school was
Mm-hmm.
trying to get a team and they kept sending these emails out. We don't have a coach. We don't have a coach. So finally the last email was like we don't get a coach by the end of the day. We're not going to have a team. So I was like, "Oh shoot." I play ball. Like I played ball since I was a kid. So I was like, "All right.
Yeah,
Let me go ahead." But man,
that's a
these
fun thing.
what's that?
It's fun. So you do it?
I do it. Yeah, I do it. We have like a team of coaches now because I recruited a few other folks and so we
Okay.
kind of do it together. But yeah, it's but 3rd grade this I don't know, man. 3rd graders, I think the older kids might be a little more, I don't know, easier maybe. I don't know what the right term is because 3rd graders it's like if I can just get them to run to the right place on the court, it's like, all right, we succeeded, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just kind of all
I
over the
don't.
place.
I don't know what it is, but this generation, like when I was in 3rd grade, I was man cold as shit in basketball.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah, yeah.
That's
So
what,
you
like
know
I
what
re
I'm
like the basketball IQ I remember was much higher, you
saying?
know.
Yeah, yeah,
And maybe
yeah,
it's
man.
COVID, you know, they had
I,
a lot of kids
I
had
actually think
so
they're technology babies, man.
yeah, 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 yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's a gift and a curse. I
yeah. You're
remember
right.
just wanting to be outside.
Right.
I didn't give a fuck about the. I had a game system. I didn't care. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
We outside. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Mama telling me to go outside, that's a dream. All right, cool. I
Yeah.
ain't coming back.
Right. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what
No,
I'm
I
saying?
think,
So
yeah, I think
they
you're right.
technology babies, man.
Yeah.
Like you kind of, how can I explain it? Because I saw it. It was just like,
Yeah.
man, these kids would rather be on iPads. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like they'd rather be exercising their brain, whether it's wrong or in the right way, on
Right.
this iPad than actually doing something physical.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
it was wild, man.
It is wild. It's a
Yeah,
different, it's a different day. That's for sure.
yeah,
Different day, but
yep.
that's cool. All right. So a few fun questions. Thinking about hip hop music, Outkast. Do you have a favorite Outkast album?
That's crazy, man. I was just talking to my homie Jay about this.
And you may not. It may be tied. Maybe a two-way tie, three-way tie.
It's a tie between AT Aliens and the Clemini.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, yeah, it's a super tie. But if I'm all right, so put it like this: if I'm on the road to Texas or something, I'm gonna throw on AT Aliens first.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But they're a tie when I think about it. If I got to
Yeah.
sit and think, yeah, you know
I
what I'm
think
saying. So,
the way I think about those two albums, I think I prefer AT Aliens a little bit more. I like that album a little bit more.
yeah,
But like if I step back and just like think about the albums, I think Aquemini is the better album, like
yep,
analytically. It's just there's so much musicianship on that album,
yeah,
and it's just like
yep.
it's eclectic but tied together. It's an amazing
They
album.
it was almost like they, not saying that they didn't figure it out the first two, but it's like, yeah, they didn't
Yeah,
figure it out on the Aquemini. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? All everything about that album, from the lyrical abilities to the stories on that joint, like Jezebel. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? No, no, no.
No, that's on AT Aliens, I
Yeah, that's
think,
on
isn't
AT
it?
Aliens.
I think so.
What's the one? Damn man. I,
Yeah, there's one. I forget all these names
hold on.
now.
It's a story. Yeah, yeah. It's a story on that joint. Hold on.
But the horns, I forget the one. There's one that has these horns on it. It's like one of my favorite beats of all time. Yeah, we both got to pull this up. Let's see. Oh,
One
Spotty.
of the OG was crazy. Oh damn. Well, you know
Some
what, bro?
is it on AT Aliens?
Yo, ATLs is the better album.
It might. I mean, it's a pretty dope album. And
Yeah,
hey,
no, no. Hold on. I got it all confused, bro.
Jazzy Bell is
Nah.
dope.
Jacksonville is crazy. Aquemini, I think they figured it out sound wise, but I don't think they were crazy as they were lyrically on ATL. Yeah, because like Wheels of Steel was fucking insane. Man, Jezebel Elevate, yeah, nah. That's the reason why I would put ATLians on first now.
There you go. I have to say, ATL, you'd be hard pressed to find a better intro sequence than AT Aliens. The intro is dope. Two Dope Boys is super dope. AT Aliens and Wheels of Steel. Like the way they sequenced that album was super dope.
What would be your favorite joint on there if you had to choose?
On AT Aliens, man, it's a great probably Wheels of Steel. Probably. I don't know. I love that album.
Wheels of Steel is crazy.
Two Dope. I also love
Even
Two Dope Boys.
those are crazy, but I honestly just gotta say, I mean, people probably be like, yeah, we know you're gonna choose that, but I think Elevators is
Eh,
one of their craziest songs
It's a
of all
great
time.
song.
That on ATLians and the Aquemini song on Aquemini.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Great
Yeah,
songs. Great
yeah, you
songs.
know what I'm saying?
Great
Yeah,
songs.
those are my joints on that joint.
All right,
Aquemini, Aquemini.
next fun question. And Yeah, I don't want to assume I know. Do you Ghetto Boys with Willie D or Ghetto Boys with Big Mike?
Man, I hope my homie Jay is watching this because we were just arguing about this like
Oh yeah,
literally 2 hours ago.
I'm excited to see what you
Yeah,
say.
I mean, because I got to take you full circle, bro. Because I'm a little upset with the homie Willie D on why they ended the Ghetto Boy podcast over the
Yeah, that was a
Grammy
dope.
thing.
I
Did
know.
you see that?
I did, man.
Yeah, I was like, yo, why, bro? Like, but anyway, so I brought that up because I love Big Mike until They'll Do Us Part, man. That's a crazy fucking album, bro. But it ain't like having Willie D, though, bro. It's like, yo, when Willie D is there, it's like the Ghetto Boys. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah,
can't be stopped. You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, and
I
then
see
you
that.
leave. Yeah, it's the Willie D voice. And even when Bushwick was rhyming, it was different until They'll Do Us Part. He was snapping, but when Willie write for him, you can tell.
Mm. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
So
I just feel like if there's no, oh, go ahead. Did I cut you off?
no, I was just gonna say the Resurrection album, like I was just telling my homie Jay, is one of the greatest rap group albums of all time, period.
It's a good album.
And I mean that album is front to back. You had Larry Hoover on there.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like when I was young, knowing what everything was, because that shit was going on in the neighborhood, it made me. I was intrigued. I was like, "Who are these niggas?
Yeah.
How do they have Larry Hoover on here?" I mean, I knew who they were, but it was almost like, who they think they are. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
That kind of thing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah,
Yeah. And for me, it was education. I was like, who? Because I didn't know. I was like, who is this? So I, do my
yeah,
research and learn about it. And yeah, that's a great album. And The World is a Ghetto. That's one of my favorite Ghetto Boy songs. I love that
man.
song.
Word of the
It's,
ghetto, first light of the day,
yeah.
time taker, ghetto
Time
boys
Taker's
and
dope.
girls,
Yeah.
ghetto fantasy, like yo,
Yeah. Yes.
yeah,
I know.
all of those joints,
I
bro.
know. But still, man, Till Death Do Us Part. I think that's my favorite Ghetto Boys album. I love that
I'm
album.
not mad at that though. You
Such a good
can't be
album.
mad at it. It's a phenomenal album, bro.
Yeah.
6 Feet Deep is one of the craziest songs ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My shit on there is Crooked Officer. I love Crooked Officer.
Yeah.
Murder After Midnight.
Yeah.
Um, um, Crooked Officer. What's the other joint?
The the posse
Straight
cut.
Gangsterism.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Big Mike solo joint. That
Yes.
shit is crazy.
The the uh the posse cut on there, Bring It On. That's one of the best posse cut, like the
Bring it.
energy on that.
Let me pull up this
Phenomenal.
joint, man. My brain ain't as good as it was. Hold on. Ghetto boy.
Yeah, I just feel like if you take context away, like if you were an alien coming to, Earth and you heard a Ghetto Boys
Murder
album,
Avenue.
yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Serial. What was the one? The serial killer. Serial killer, where all the cereals in it. That was dope. Um, yeah. If you're like an alien, you come to this planet and you hear like a Ghetto Boys album with Willie D and a Ghetto Boys album with Big Mike. I feel like you're gonna go with Big Mike. I mean, no shade at
It's
Willie
because you
D.
don't know no better.
That's what I'm saying. If you don't know any better, but
Yeah.
I feel like yeah, in context matters, of course. So, but
But if you know the history, then you know Ghetto Boys is not Ghetto Boys without Bushwick, Face, and Willie D.
yeah, yeah, true,
I
true, true,
mean,
true.
yeah, it's just what it is. I think that they were lyrically better than do I think Big Mike is lyrically better than Willie D? Yeah.
Yeah,
But when when you're talking about Ghetto Boys, it ain't just about the lyricism.
right.
You know what I'm saying? It's about the history of the North Side and the South Side coming
Yeah.
together. You know what I'm saying? It's about Willie D being a straight up fucking champion boxer and can throw. Hey, it's a whole bunch of shit that go into it. You know what I'm saying? Him
Yeah.
pulling up when Bushwick shoot himself in the eye, would get shot in the eye.
That's
It's
wild.
a whole history. You got
Yeah.
they the Ghetto Boys.
That's
You
wild.
know?
Super
Yeah,
wild. Yeah. All right, last fun question. Where would you put Scarface in the top MCs of all time?
like
Ish.
my personal or just period.
Yeah, yeah, I guess either one. You can go your personal or
Well,
where you
both.
think he should rank.
Well, on both, he number two for me.
Number two. Oh, who's number one?
Nas.
Nah. All right, right on. Very good. And
Yeah,
then you got
yeah,
you got Scarface at two. That's
yeah.
dope.
Hell yeah. He
Yeah.
really, they really won A, one B for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there are days where I'm like, God damn, Face is the illest cat to ever do it. You know what I'm saying? So when he dropped that Tiny Desk tapes, man,
Yeah.
I was like,
That
damn,
was nice. Yeah.
yeah, he's the GOAT, bro. And then Nas will fucking say something on Instagram or post on IG like, nah, he's the GOAT. I go back and forth between those two. So
Yeah.
yeah, they one and two.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, listen, before it gets too late, I do want to spend a little bit of time asking you about this album that you made last year, Permanently Blackface, The First Expression. First, let's start with that title, The First Expression. Does this mean there's a second expression coming?
Yes,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Is the second expression going to be like an extension, like a similar sound, or is it like a totally
It's,
different sound?
it's gonna be his own expression.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Right on.
yeah, yeah. It's everything's gonna tie. Everything that I've been doing album wise is gonna tie in. People will see it.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
dope. I can't
Oh
wait to
yeah.
hear it. So this
Oh yeah.
album, I'm really big. Like I started making beats when I was really young. And so I always kind of listen to like the feel of an album first and foremost. And what really caught my ear on this album is the way you sequenced it in that like the first like four or five songs, they're a little more laid back. Like there's not like really booming drums like the was it Spooks Blues? Just has this
Mm-hmm.
like super dope horn and this like music landscape that's like kind of eerie and jazzy at the same time, really dope. And so it's kind of like that starting out. Like it's not like these booming drums, but then you give us a little interlude, and then you get us with the blacks in control.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it almost like to give people like a reference, almost like a Griselda, like just like this booming
Yeah.
joint. It's not real fast, but it just kind of moves like an alchemist almost like type feel. And
Shout out the walls, man. Yeah.
yeah. And then the rest of the album kind of takes that same feel. So it's like you warm us up, in a way. Was that intentional or is that just kind of how it spilled out?
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's I feel I get better with each project. So, but every project that I do, I try to make it feel a certain way because I'm a movie buff.
Mm.
So my engineer is like, man, you always trying to get stuff to sound like movies and not complaining, but he just be talking about
Yeah.
me and how
Right.
serious I am about it. So it's just my next project that I'm dropping in March, Temple Needs Water, Village Needs Peace with Real Bad Man. It's kind of like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But or it is like that. But anyway, yeah, man, it's about telling the story than giving you action. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta tell it. If you listen to the lyrics, it's kind of like I'm showing you where we came from. You know what I'm saying? And showing you where I come from and me knowing these things as a child and talking to these people and seeing that people of my age at the time when I was younger, we're getting the short end of the stick. I don't understand why, but these are the reasons why. Let me show you the fuck why. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Here comes the action now. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like buttering you up to fucking slap you in the face real quick. That's it. It's telling we tell you the story, then I'm gonna slap shit at you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That, that's how movies are. The movies, like they build you up to the goddamn most tense part of the thing, and it might be the lead character gets murdered. You know what I'm saying? Everything that happened leading up to that had to happen, so
Right.
you feel this way when that character dies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how I like to do my albums.
Yeah. Well, it's a super dope album. It flows well. I like the movie comparison because it really does have a feel to it. Like you can almost see you can almost see it, And I love it because it's not, the songs don't sound the same, but there's something that like ties them all together. It's not like there's a couple down south songs and then there's the East Coast song and then there's the West Coast song and then there's this song that it has a feel to it, which I really appreciate. And I don't know, man, just the way it moves, it's just a great album. So if you're tuning in, you haven't listened to the album yet, go get it. It's permanently Blackface, the first expression. And a lot of times I'll ask an artist, what's the one, if you could give a fan one song that doesn't know you, what song would you give them? I wouldn't even say, don't listen to a song on this album. Listen to the album. Listen to it from beginning
Yeah,
to end. This is one
it's
of those
it's
albums I
it's
think you
one
need to do
song.
that.
It's
Yeah.
one song.
Yeah.
Um, but if you, yeah, I mean, just turn on the intro. That should spark your interest.
Yes.
I think. You know
I
what I'm
love that
saying? So
intro.
people, thank you.
Yeah.
Shouts out to my grandfather. Um, but yeah, man. I don't know, man. Just check my shit out.
Yeah. Oh, check. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. And
yeah.
what?
I don't think you'll be disappointed.
Nah. And you shout out your grandfather. What was his involvement in that on the intro?
Oh, well, that's him talking on the
Oh,
intro,
okay.
interlude, and outro. That's him
Okay.
talking after the minstrel skits.
Cool.
So
Got it.
yeah, man. He's a big influence on my rap career and the way I rap and the words I use, and because I come from a line of educators.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? My granddad is an activist. He's still active now. My great grandmother was the commissioner of the board of education.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, so things like that. So it only made sense for me to bring him in on this album. It's talking about the shit he's involved in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, that's
That's
how
dope.
that came about.
Yeah, that's super dope. Who was it, one producer that did all the beats, or was it multiple producers?
I produced one. It's like everybody produced one. Bohemia, Lynch, and Walls produced one together. Walls produced one by itself. Cities of V produced Spook Blues, SB11, produced Melanin Child. Walls
Wow.
produced Blacks in Control. Um, what's after Blacks in Control? Uh, the story of, damn, what's the name of that song? Anyway, I produced the next song after Blacks in Control. And after that song, that's Diener. He produces that one. And my engineer, Logan, Hollow Soul, he introduced the last two. I mean, he produced the last two.
Did he do
So,
Fly,
yeah.
Blackface Fly? It's hard to say one beat is my favorite, but
Yep.
if I had to, I think it would be that one. If I had
That's
to.
everybody's favorite. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's close. There's a lot. I mean, that joint, that Blacks in Control, man, that's a dope beat too. Like yeah, it's all dope. Uh Man, you know what? It's almost like that Nas influence is coming because Nas was able to put together that Illmatic album with all these different producers, but it had a very consistent feel. I'm amazed that I figured it was one producer that did it all because it
Nah,
has a
nah, nah.
feel to it. That's so
Nah,
great. Great job
I just know how
curating
to
that
pick it.
joint.
Yeah. Like we all like we're similar in some ways because we know what we like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is why we're working together.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it was fairly easy. Everybody that produced on the joint is family, and
That's
they
dope.
know what kind of shit I like. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So yeah,
That's
man.
dope.
Thank you,
Dope.
bro. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you for making it. And there was vinyl. Is that right? Is there still vinyl
Yes,
or is it sold
there's
out?
still vinyl. No, well, two of them have sold out. The OB ones, the OB strip ones, and the gray ones sold out. But there's still red and black ones left on the biglukah.bandcamp.com website.
Okay, yeah.
Bandcamp. So
So make sure you go to that big Lukah.bandcamp site. Get your copy today. Is there any plans for a CD? I think I was bugging you about a CD
yeah.
months ago.
Um, I'm gonna do CDs, man. We should talk about CDs.
Okay. Hey, we can
Yeah,
hook it up for
yeah,
sure. For sure.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Let's talk about CDs. Yeah, I do want to get CDs for that because I got cassettes and vinyls for it, so I
yeah.
might as well do CDs.
Hey, might as well for us CD nerds out there. So, all right, cool. Well, get the album. If you've not heard it, go listen to it. It's called Permanently Blackface, The First Expression by Lukah. Anything you can tell us about what's coming up next? Any albums you got, The Second Expression, anything else that you want to share?
Well, second expression won't be out until top of 2025.
2012. Okay.
Um, but this year, in March, I'll be dropping an album with Real Bad Man called Temple Needs Water, Village Needs Peace.
That's a dope
And
title.
appreciate that, man. And we got some crazy shit going on that joint. Um, just locked in with Preservation, so we're gonna try to get something rocking.
Whoa,
And then I'm working on, huh?
is that the Preservation that did a joint with Ka and worked with Most
Mm-hmm.
Def? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dope.
him and finishing up the Static joint right now.
An
So,
album or a song?
um,
With Status Selector?
yeah,
What? Man, you got Real Bad Man. Hey, I'm telling you, the prophecy is gonna come true. I was telling my wife, I was telling my wife earlier on our way home from the thing. I was like, yo, the dude I'm interviewing, like he's getting some publicity, some things are happening. I was like, I bet if things work out for him, I think he could be big, like big. So
appreciate that,
yeah, man.
bro.
There's just something about you. I think you just have that like crossover appeal, but not like selling out appeal. Like I feel like
My,
everyone can appreciate you. And it makes sense. Like
my
early,
engineer, my
yeah,
engineer tells me that all the time, bro.
yeah,
And I'm just like, man, let's just make music.
yeah. It's just me. Yeah. Good thought.
Yeah,
Good thought.
yeah, let's just make music,
Yeah,
man. All
that's
that other shit have come, man. This man.
right.
So,
Yeah.
but thank you for seeing it, bro.
Yeah,
You know
man.
what I mean?
Yeah, man. I wish you continued success. I'm excited to hear about Real Bad Man. That's some great production comes out of that. So
Yeah, it's
yeah.
gonna be
Is it
crazy.
okay? Excuse my ignorance. Is it just one dude? Or is it
Ooh,
it's
Real
like
bad, man.
yeah, or is it like a
Nah,
duo
it's
or
just
a
one
trio?
guy.
It's just one
It's
guy. I
just
thought it
one guy.
was like a production team.
Nah, man. I told him, and I hope he's watching. I told him that he should keep that because he showed his face on the interview. You know
Oh,
what I'm
did he?
saying? Yeah. And I told him, I said, man, you should have kept that mysterious shit going
Hey,
because
someone
you
needs
thought it was a band of people. You know
right.
what I'm
He needs
saying?
to take it down. He should take it down.
Yeah, man. So
Delete that.
nah, he's very talented, real dope cat, man. We actually developed a relationship after doing this project. It's one of my favorite projects that I've done, and yeah, man, it's gonna be. I can't wait to see how people react to it. Honestly,
I yeah, I can't wait to hear it. Especially with a title like
appreciate.
that. That's an interesting title. So, all right. Before we get out of here today, we always like to end the show celebrating some hip hop albums. So we play a little game called One Word, where I will show you an album and then invite you to try to capture that album in one word.
Hey,
All
let's
right.
do it.
See if you can do it. We're gonna start with an album we've never done on the show. In fact, nobody has ever told me this is one of their favorite albums, and I was excited that you did because I think this is an underrated gem. This is Behind Bars by Slick Rick, right there.
Tough.
Tough, yeah,
Yeah, because I think he was in jail when this came out. I think that's the story. I think something dealing with jail was around this album because this album didn't even get pushed properly.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Man, that album is tough, man. The remixes on that joint are crazy. One of my favorite songs. I know you said one word, but yeah, I just gotta say this.
That's all right.
One of my favorite songs on that joint, Life Without Love.
Mm,
That song really influenced me to really dig deep with telling stories, bro.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? All alone, no one to be with, and him telling that damn love story, bro. And that album's tough, man.
yeah. It's a tough album. All right. Here's another album that doesn't get mentioned enough. This is 456 by Cool G Rap.
Teacher.
Teacher.
Yeah.
Interesting. Why Teacher?
Yo, the person that we think is the greatest rapper of all time, that's who he got that shit from.
Mm.
Cool G Rap had to remind people where Nas, Pun, Big L, all that shit, Raekwon, me, you know what I'm saying? My uncle, all of that shit. We got that shit from him. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? That's teaching, bro. Yeah.
I feel that. That's dope. I love this album. Such a good album.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. What are we gonna show next? Oh, I gotta show this one. This is a good one. This is Alfredo by Freddie Gibbs and The Alchemist.
Grammy.
Oh yeah, it did get nominated, didn't it?
Yeah, but it lost against the GOAT. But honestly, that joint, that because he won for King Disease 1, and that joint ain't that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But I wasn't mad because Nas needed this, bro.
Right.
Finally.
Yeah.
But that joint should have won. So I'll say
I
Grammy.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Up next, I know you love this album. This is The Diary by Scarface.
Classic.
Classic, yeah.
Classic. That's he won his first awards off that joint.
Would you say it's your favorite? Oh, go ahead.
Yep, go ahead. What you
I
say?
was just say favorite Scarface album.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got a few. He's got a few good ones.
Yeah. Nah, that's my joint though. Hands on the Dead Body?
Yeah,
Jesse James?
Jesse James.
No
Yeah, that
tears?
was my joint.
Going
Oh, no
down?
tear. Yeah, no tears.
Yeah, yeah,
That was dope. Okay,
yeah.
all right. Let's go up to Griselda. This is Tana Talk. Three.
Golden.
Why Golden?
That's when you started to see he was like the golden child, bro. Like they
Mm,
started giving him the Jay comparisons.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? He was coming too. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, that's the golden stage for him, I think.
All right, we talked about. You know what we're gonna do in the final round? We're gonna do a little
Do all of them.
we're gonna do a little this or that joint. All right. So this it's not which one is better. I don't like those conversations like, oh, this one's better. It's which one do you gravitate towards more? Which one do you resonate with more in 2024? And I mean, you could say both if you want. All right. So we're gonna start with some new ones. This is cheat codes on this side, Black Thought, and Glorious Game, Black Thought. Very different albums. Same great MC. Here we go.
I'm gonna go cheat codes, man.
Cheat.
When I heard cheat codes, I just had to go right. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? Yeah, like Black Thought is like he's in my top 5.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love Black Thought.
Yeah. Glorious Game is like a beautiful fucking album, though.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
cheat codes is like, you know what I'm saying?
What did you think
It's,
about the mix of this album, how it sounded? Because I know some people were not happy with the mix
it
of it.
sounded doomish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it sounded like some shit. Yo, man, listen. I'm a hop cat, man. If Black Thought talking, I'ma listen. I don't care how he sounds. You
I
know
hear
what I'm
you.
saying?
Same. Yeah.
Yeah,
Same. I feel that.
Raekwon on the album, I'm listening. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, but Glorious Game is a beautiful fucking album.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right, two more rounds here. We got King's Disease 2, King's Disease 3.
Mm. That boy was a lead on both of them.
Yeah.
All right, so just because those joints are fresh, I don't really know them like that. But I'm gonna tell you whichever one Store Run is on.
That
which I
is
think is this one.
store
I think
run.
it's
Yeah,
two. I think
it's
it's
two.
two. Yeah, store run. Yo, that's he. What was the song that Jay and Yo Gotti played the Jay Big Dog Talk, Big Homie Talk, or something like that. I feel like Nas
YKTV.
was in.
Yeah.
Huh?
Was it YKTV?
No.
Oh,
This is a separate
oh, sorry.
situation. But it was a thing going around. I think Gotti had went to Nas, not Jay. Gotti went to Nas and was playing like his Big Homie track, where he was basically trying to like Big Homie and the little homies. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the bag Nas was in
Mm,
on this joint. You know what I'm saying? That's why that song Store Run stuck out to me because he like I see y'all on the store run. Y'all know who the fuck I am. Yeah, so like,
yeah.
that's crazy.
All right. Last one. And you can, I think I know what you're going to say. And you can settle it once and for all. What's the better, what's the better album? Or which one do you gravitate towards? Till Death Do Us Part or The Resurrection?
Resurrection, man.
Yeah.
It's
I thought you would say that.
I mean, resurrection is like, in a sense, more mature in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like on to Death Do Us Part, they were strictly with the shit on that joint.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On Resurrection, they were strictly with the shit, but it was a little political too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're talking about the people coming together and they were trying to get talking about the ghetto fantasies and how
Right.
we stuck in those situations and things of that nature. Even though they talked about that a little bit on Till Death Do Us Part, it wasn't like
Yeah.
it's on Resurrection. It was a little bit more polished.
Yeah. Totally. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
And while we're on the Ghetto Boys, I just want to see what you think. Are you a fan? What do you think of Bushwick Bill's what was it, Phantom of the Rapper album? Do you remember this album?
That one and Little Big Man is crazy.
Yeah. I feel like Phantom of the Rapper especially like is just it's underrated. I think it's a really good album.
Yo, look me in my eyes. What did he say? Put me in a room with four clips, two guns and four clips aimed at my dome, and I bet I won't flinch. At least I get
Yeah.
to know I'm going out in the blast. Yeah, yo, that was on Phantom of the Rap. Yo, my dad got mad one time. I was just telling my homie this story because my dad is a big Scarface fan. So that's kind of how I got into Scarface later. You know what I'm saying? Deeply. But anyway, he called my mom. He was like, man, I really think he liked Bushwick Bill better than he liked Scarface. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought Bushwick Bill was just wicked with the shit he was
Yeah.
saying. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, man. Both Bill, it was a talent, was a generational talent, bro. He was dope, one of a kind, and he will be missed. Phantom of the
Yeah.
Rapper is a dope ass album, bro.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. Well, big Lukah, thank you for being here, man. The last thing we always do before we head out is we give shout outs. So I'll give a few and then I'll turn it over to you to give the final shout outs of the night. Sound good?
Oh yeah.
All right, cool, cool. Well, shout out the crew that couldn't be here, Profound and iomos. Also want to shout out my man Big Stowe and Beau Brown and Joe November, also part of the crew. Um, just want to shout out hip hop, man, especially Southern hip hop, Memphis hip hop. Just people putting in their heart and soul into the music, and hopefully it doesn't go unnoticed. And tonight, definitely want to give you a shout out, Lukah. Thank you for the dope music. I have been listening and I feel like I think you mentioned it, each album gets better, and I agree. I feel like each of your projects are getting better. And so I can't wait for these, projects that are coming. So yeah. So shout out for you for, being a master of your craft, a teacher in this thing and learning and getting better and growing. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the music you're making and what you're bringing to the table. So shout out to you for that and for, sharing some time with us tonight. And with that, I'll turn it over to you for the final shout outs of
Yo,
the night.
salute to you for having me on this joint, bro. What
Hey,
you
man.
all are doing is beautiful. Anything dealing with the culture is beautiful. Boom bap is a beautiful thing, bro. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
man.
saying? And you know what I'm saying? In a sense, you were just giving me flowers. And your homies weren't able to be here because they had other things that they had to do that are crazy important. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And that's dope because they also doing this shit, which is crazy and important.
Yeah.
So thank you and them for giving me the flowers. Shouts out to y'all. Shouts out to everybody that tuning in, fans, family, loved ones. Y'all be peaceful. Stay safe out there. And yo, just listen to music, man. Let the music take you away. You know what I'm saying? Stop with all this 30 minutes on one album and you throw it away. Nah, man. You gotta enjoy music because it's one of the finest arts, man. So I just tell everybody when you listening to music, listen to it, enjoy it, go back, and you'll learn something new every time. So peace and love.
Word up. Yeah. You heard him. On that
And
note, we always say peace, peace, peace.